Ladies and gentlemen, how do? Right, UK subs, brand new age. Great album this. Picked this up recently to replace the one that I sold on eBay in the late 90s. I bought it when it came out in the 80s, early 80s I think. This one is a gatefold, as you can see. Has the same back cover, same front cover, and the inside cover, this is a 10-inch by the way, not a 12-inch normal size LP. So the inner cover pretty much similar to the original. This one is yellow vinyl. The original one I had was clear vinyl. There are extra tracks on this as well, and the other one is that colour, so very nice indeed. Plays fantastically, production sounds the same as the original, so well worth picking up. I actually prefer this to the original, to be honest, and of course since I bought it recently it is actually mint condition. This is probably in my top 100 of punk albums, and I have millions of albums that I like, so to be in the top 100 it's got to be pretty good, probably even in my top 50. Warhead's on here, which of course was a fantastic song which got them on top of the pops at one point. I don't think there's a bad track on it. 500cc is a great one. Public Servants, You Can't Take It Anymore. It's a really great track, a bit weird for them to be honest, but I like it. But that is probably my favourite UK subs album of all time. Of course UK subs did, well, they're still doing albums I think, but they went alphabetically, didn't they? And I think they've reached Z now, so the A was Another Kind of Blues, Brand New Age, Crash Course, Diminished Responsibility, Endangered Species. I don't know what came after that. I sort of lost interest in them after that, but this, great album. Now don't laugh, because this one, my friends, is actually one of my favourite albums, probably top 50. It's The Police and OUTLANDOUS DAMOUR. Now, I know a lot of people would say that's not punk, but I think it came out in 78 or 79. It was one of the first albums I bought, and I think it's quite punky, and I think you can tell by his haircut. It's a bit punky, a bit spiky. It was a bit shouty, but it was showing a lot more songwriting ability than a lot of punk bands at the time, and I think they've since admitted that they were just making, putting it on, pretending to be punk, to try and get a record deal, to try and get gigs with other bands. I know they played with a lot of punk bands, and I still consider this as a punk album. Obviously they turned into a global superstar band of, just teenage girls, like songs about, boyfriend, girlfriend kind of stuff that they did, which made them a lot of money, I suppose. I don't like Sting much. I've never met him, obviously, but he comes over as pompous and, well, a bit arrogant. And let's face it, all that solo music he does is utter bollocks. But this I would recommend. There's only one track on it that's a bit shit, and that's Be My Girl Sally, which, to be honest, was a filler, wasn't it? But it's a good album, good songwriting, good tunes, good production, and this is to replace the one that I sold many years ago. As I say, I bought it when it came out, and I bought this off a guy in Wolverhampton who was selling on Discogs, and I've got to say, it is in near mint condition, and there's not a crackle on it. It looks, sounds great, and I was pretty pleased with that one. So that is definitely a recommendation, even if you don't like The Police as they were, because I don't like them much, but I love this album. So get it, it's a cracker. Don't bother with CDs, I've told you before. We like vinyl. Next one up, not strictly punk, but they were around at the time, and I remember they did a song called Milk and Alcohol. It's Dr. Feelgood. And when that came out and they were on top of the pops with it, I thought it was quite punky, it was aggressive. So it got me into them, and I bought the first couple of albums. I think this was the first one, Down by the Jetty. I actually didn't buy this one, I bought the second one. But I never bought this, and this is absolutely fabulous. So I bought this recently, and it is actually an original copy, and I think it's mono, to be honest, so you can tell how old that is. But very, very good album. It's on United Artists. I think it's United Artists, yeah it is. So I'm pretty sure that's an original press, or definitely one of the first, and it's mono, and it's just brilliant. And yeah, they're not a punk band, but definitely have that aggression that punk bands had, and they were around at the time. They influenced a lot of punk bands. I think the Jam, they were a mod band, but the Jam and I think the Clash as well went down to see them. This is just such a fantastic album. I mean, Roxette's on it. She does it right. Really, really great songs. You can really punch the air to this one. So it's got that punky edge. So if you're punk but you think, oh, that ain't punk, this is worth having in your collection. I think there's a modern release of it, so it's probably easy to get. But really great album, really great band. They're still going now, but with no original members, so not really the same thing. But yeah, this is definitely worth getting. Wilco Johnson, of course, is still going after his massive health scare. So yeah, check out Dr. Feelgood, because they really are a great band. And I mean, I like bands like Discharge and Killing Joke and The Clash and Crass, but this is definitely up there. Superb album. Check it out.